In the early years of the first millennium, the Roman Empire stood as a colossal power, its legions having conquered vast territories across the known world. Its shadow stretched from the sun-scorched sands of Africa to the misty shores of Britannia. Beyond the Rhine River, however, lay the dense, dark forests of Germania, a land of fierce, independent tribes. The Romans viewed the Germanic peoples as barbarians, a chaotic force to be tamed and civilized under Roman rule. Decades earlier, Julius Caesar had made the first Roman forays across the Rhine, setting a precedent for future expansion. By 7 AD, the lands between the Rhine and Elbe rivers were being integrated into the empire as the province of Germania. To govern this new territory, Emperor Augustus appointed Publius Quinctilius Varus, a man known for his stern and uncompromising nature. Varus had a history of imposing heavy taxes and Roman laws with an iron fist, a method he brought to his new command. He treated the proud Germanic tribes not as allies, but as a conquered people, sowing seeds of deep-seated resentment. The simmering anger of the tribesmen grew with each passing day, a silent promise of future rebellion. Unbeknownst to Varus, the architect of his downfall was a man he considered a trusted friend and ally. This man was Arminius, a prince of the Cherusci tribe, who had been taken to Rome as a child. In Rome, Arminius received a full military education, learning the art of war from the very empire he would one day betray. He was granted Roman citizenship and rose to the rank of equestrian, a knight of Rome. Serving in the Roman auxiliary forces, he earned the complete trust of Governor Varus. This intimate knowledge of Roman military tactics, their formations, and their mindset would become his most lethal weapon. While outwardly professing loyalty to Rome, Arminius secretly traveled between the Germanic tribes, forging an unprecedented alliance. He united old enemies, convincing them to set aside their rivalries to face a common, existential threat. In the autumn of 9 AD, Arminius's carefully laid plans were set into motion. He fed Varus fabricated intelligence of a minor tribal uprising in a remote region. He persuaded the Roman governor that a swift march with his legions would easily crush the supposed rebellion. The route Arminius suggested led directly through the dense, marshy, and treacherous Teutoburg Forest. Varus, overconfident in his military might and his trust in Arminius, dismissed warnings from other loyal Germans. Even Arminius's own father-in-law, Segestus, tried to expose the plot, but his words fell on deaf ears. Thus, Varus led his 3 legions, the 70, Aetane, and Gegensini, directly into the heart of the ambush. The Roman column was a cumbersome beast, stretching for miles along the narrow forest path. It was encumbered by a long baggage train of wagons and thousands of camp followers, slowing its progress to a crawl. The terrain was a nightmare for the legions, a muddy, narrow track that prevented them from deploying in their disciplined battle formations. As the Romans struggled through the forest, the sky darkened and a torrential autumn rain began to fall. The rain turned the path into a quagmire and soaked the Romans to the bone. At that moment, from the high ground on either side of the path, the Germanic warriors unleashed their fury. A storm of javelins rained down upon the unsuspecting and vulnerable Roman column. The surprise was absolute, the chaos immediate. The wet weather played a crucial role in the unfolding disaster for the Romans. Their bowstrings were rendered slack and useless. Their shields became waterlogged and incredibly heavy. The Germanic warriors, fighting on their home turf, were perfectly adapted to these conditions. They employed brutal guerrilla tactics, launching swift, ferocious attacks before melting back into the trees. The battle raged for 3 agonizing days. Exhausted and demoralized, The Romans managed to form a fortified camp on the first night, but their situation was dire. Each attempt to break out of the forest trap was met with furious resistance and resulted in further heavy losses. On the final day, with all hope extinguished, Varus and his senior officers made a grim choice. Understanding the utter hopelessness of their situation, they took their own lives, falling on their swords in the Roman tradition. The defeat was not just a loss, it was a complete and utter annihilation. An estimated 20,000 Roman soldiers, the fighting heart of 3 legions, were slaughtered. The 3 sacred legionary eagles, the very soul of the legions, were captured by the triumphant Germanic tribes. The few Romans who survived the massacre were hunted down or sold into slavery. News of the Varian disaster sent shockwaves of disbelief and horror through the Roman Empire. Emperor Augustus was said to have been driven to the brink of madness by the news. He would wander the halls of his palace, banging his head against the walls and crying out in despair. "Quintilius Varus, give me back my legions," he would cry, a lament that echoed the sentiment of a wounded empire. The numbers of the lost legions, 1878 and 19, were considered so unlucky that they were never used again. In the immediate aftermath of the battle, all Roman forts and settlements east of the Rhine were swiftly overrun. Rome's ambitious expansion into Germania was brought to a sudden, brutal, and permanent halt. The Rhine River, once a temporary stopping point, now became the fortified, permanent border of the empire for the next 400 years. Rome, however, was not an empire to let such a defeat go unpunished. In the years that followed, punitive campaigns were launched into Germania under the command of the brilliant general Germanicus. In 15 AD, 6 years after the disaster, Germanicus and his legions reached the site of the massacre. They were met with a gruesome and haunting scene of bleached bones and skeletal remains. Roman skulls were found nailed to trees, a chilling testament to the ferocity of the battle and the rituals that followed. The Roman soldiers, with heavy hearts, gathered the remains of their fallen comrades for a proper burial. Germanicus's campaigns inflicted heavy losses on the Germanic tribes, and he even managed to recapture one of the lost eagles. He also captured Thusnelda, the wife of Arminius, and brought her back to Rome as a prisoner. Despite these victories, their campaigns did not result in the reconquest of Germania. The cost in blood and treasure to hold the territory was deemed too high by the new emperor, Tiberius Duc. The Battle of the Teutoburg Forest thus stands as a pivotal turning point in European history. It was a humbling and decisive defeat for the seemingly invincible Roman war machine. The battle demonstrated the potent effectiveness of guerrilla warfare against a conventional army. It showcased the fierce determination of people fighting to defend their homeland and their way of life. The victory of the Germanic tribes preserved their unique culture and political autonomy from Roman assimilation. This preservation of a distinct Germanic identity would profoundly influence the course of European development for centuries to come. The forest had swallowed 3 legions, and in doing so, had redrawn the boundaries of an empire. The Roman dream of a world united under its eagle had found its limit in the dark woods of Germania. The battle's legacy echoed through time, a story of resistance against overwhelming odds. It served as a stark reminder that even the mightiest empires could be brought to their knees. The ghosts of the lost legions would forever haunt the Roman imagination. And in the heart of Germania, the name Arminius would be remembered as a symbol of freedom. The battle was a brutal lesson in the perils of underestimating an opponent. It was a victory born of cunning, courage, and a deep love for one's homeland. The Teutoburg Forest, once just a location, became a legend. a place where the course of history was violently and irrevocably altered. The Roman tide had been turned back, and the future of Europe would be forever different. The battle's tale would be told and retold, a saga of betrayal, ambition, and the fight for freedom. It was a conflict that defined the limits of Roman power and the resilience of the human spirit. The memory of the lost legions became a cautionary tale for future Roman emperors. The battle cemented the Rhine as a frontier, not just of territory, but of culture and ideology. The Germanic tribes, having tasted victory, would remain a formidable challenge to Rome for centuries. The name Varus would become synonymous with disaster and incompetence in Roman history. The battle was a testament to the power of a united front against a common enemy. The forest itself seemed to have fought alongside the Germanic warriors, its terrain a deadly trap. The rain, the mud, the trees, all became weapons in the hands of Arminius. The battle was a symphony of chaos, a maelstrom of violence that consumed an army. The silence that fell after the final screams was a testament to the totality of the defeat. The story of the battle would inspire future generations to resist oppression. It was a victory that echoed through the ages, a defiant roar against the might of an empire. The Teutoburg Forest held its secrets, a silent witness to one of history's greatest upsets. The battle was a brutal, bloody, and ultimately decisive chapter in the story of Europe. The Roman eagle had been humbled, its wings clipped by the warriors of the forest. The battle's outcome was a testament to the fact that no empire is truly invincible. The memory of Teutoburg would forever be a scar on the pride of Rome. And for the people of Germania, it was the dawn of a new era of freedom. The battle was a turning point, a moment when the tide of history shifted. The story of the lost legions would serve as a warning for generations to come. The battle was a clash of worlds, a conflict between order and freedom. The forest had protected its own, its ancient trees standing as silent guardians. The victory was a testament to the power of a people united in purpose. The Battle of the Teutoburg Forest was more than a battle. It was a declaration of independence. The echoes of the battle cry would resonate through the corridors of time. The Roman war machine had been broken, its gears clogged with the mud of Germania. The battle was a brutal reminder that courage and cunning can overcome even the greatest of odds. The forest had claimed its due, a blood price for the invasion of its sacred grounds. The story of the battle would become a cornerstone of Germanic identity. The defeat was a wound that Rome would never fully heal from. The battle was a savage, desperate, and ultimately triumphant struggle for survival. The forest stood as a monument to the fallen, a silent tomb for a Roman army. The battle's legacy was a powerful reminder of the price of freedom. The story of Teutoburg is a story of how a forest became the graveyard of an empire's ambition. The battle was a brutal lesson in humility for the proud Roman Empire. The Germanic warriors had fought with the fury of a cornered animal. The Roman legions, so used to open battlefields, were lost in the claustrophobic woods. The battle was a testament to the importance of local knowledge in warfare. The defeat at Teutoburg would haunt the Roman psyche for generations. The battle was a victory for the underdog, a story that would inspire hope in the oppressed. The forest had been a silent ally to the Germanic tribes, its secrets well kept. The battle was a brutal, bloody, and beautiful dance of death. The memory of the battle would be a source of pride for the Germanic people. The defeat was a stark reminder that no army is invincible, no empire eternal. The battle was a savage symphony of steel, wood, and human courage. The forest had witnessed a turning point in history, a moment of profound change. The battle's legacy is a testament to the enduring power of the human will to be free. The story of the Teutoburg Forest is a story of how a people's love for their land can overcome any obstacle. The battle was a brutal, bloody and ultimately glorious victory for the Germanic tribes. The forest had been the stage for a drama of epic proportions, a story for the ages. The defeat at Teutoburg was a lesson that Rome would never forget. The battle was a testament to the fact that even the smallest spark can ignite a great fire. The forest had been a crucible, forging a new sense of unity among the Germanic tribes. The battle's memory would be a shield for the Germanic people, protecting their culture from foreign influence. The defeat was a brutal awakening for the Roman Empire, a shock to its system. The battle was a savage dance between life and death, with the fate of a nation hanging in the balance. The forest had been a silent observer, its ancient trees the only witnesses to the full extent of the slaughter. The battle's legacy is a powerful reminder that history is written by the victors. The story of the Teutoburg Forest is a story of how a small group of determined people can change the world.